Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Who does Morrie Beschloss say is the most underrated president of the past 100 years? The 38th president of the United States, Gerald Rudolph Ford Jr. I'm sure a lot of folks are saying like I did. What?
Yes, because he was not a showboat. I mean, he was not a guy. When you think about Ford, you think about a guy who stumbled, and he sort of had the basic. He projected the image of somebody who was
The grandfather.
a nice guy. The joke about him was when he was a football player at the University of Michigan, and he must have played without a helmet.
He was All-American, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was married, but he
Darn good football player.
All Big Ten, anyway. That I know. But the point was, so he was not a guy that he was appointed, if you recall, by Nixon when Nixon vice president, who lived right out here in Rancho Mirage, got in trouble. He had to have a replacement. So and Ford at that time was actually the leader of the House Republicans.
So tell us, what are some of the things that make you think that he's an underrated president?
I really think this is a man like, first of all, he got us out of Vietnam. We were stuck in Vietnam. Nixon was supposed to have a grand plan, which he never had. Shortly after, 4 months after after Nixon was asked to leave by his associates, he got us out of Vietnam.
Okay,
And
what else?
On top of that, he was also the guy that brought the nation back together, because at that time, and I remember that
After the Watergate fiasco?
Watergate, people wanted to put Nixon in jail, and that he had done things that were terrible, you know, nothing compared to what we're seeing today. But in those days, Nixon looked like he was off his rocker in some of the things he did. He even dressed up his guys around the White House into some new kind of uniform and so on. He was doing some crazy things. And Ford said, no, the nightmare's over. We're going to bring this country back to peace. And he killed himself as far as re-election, because a lot of people resented him getting the pardon. And also, he brought together Egypt and Israel. A lot of people give Carter, he was there for the ceremony, but it was Ford that convinced Rabin to sit down with with Anwar Sadat.
Which might have been a bad decision for Anwar.
Well, it may have been, but the point is he did, and he was not a publicity seeker, so he didn't do a lot of things that curried favor with the press. But I think he was a man that gave us a transition out of the Nixon-Watergate era into a relative re-solidification of this country.
And he never really sought the White House. He was vice president, and it got foisted upon him, but he didn't seek it out.
No, he even said his greatest his ambition was to be Speaker of the House someday. That was all he was. He was a very modest human. I had the pleasure of meeting him at a barbershop, and we had about an hour conversation. He's a very down-to-earth, easygoing guy. And what you saw is what you got.
Well, that wraps up another edition of the World Report. If you'd like to email us or check out Morrie's blog at the Desert Sun, the easiest way is to go to our website. And also, if you want to check a segment that you might have missed or go back and see something that you didn't catch up on, just go to our website, theworldreport.org. For Morrie Beschloss, all those wonderful folks who volunteer to keep us safe in the United States Armed Forces, I'm Scott Crowfoot, and God willing, we'll see each other again.